Oh, is it that time already? Well, it must be. You are here. This will be an extra special story time if you are joining me. Now, let's see if I have everything. I've got my pillows, I've got my blankets, and my own personal copy of the Big God story. Okay, I'm all set. Let's hear the story of how our amazing God called on a boy to lead his people. Everybody, get comfortable. Today's part of the Big God story begins when God led his people, the Israelites, out of the desert and into the promised land. But the Israelites didn't live happily ever after. They stopped listening to God and began to disobey him. They started having trouble with one another and trouble with people from other countries, so God stopped speaking. It might have felt to the Israelites as if God wasn't even there at all. But you know what? God was still there. He loved his people and would never ever leave them. God was just being very, very quiet. He was just waiting for someone, anyone, who would just listen. During this time, there lived a young boy named Samuel. Samuel served God with his whole heart. He was prepared to do whatever needed to be done to serve God and his people. Samuel worked and lived with a priest named Eli. Eli taught Samuel all about God and how to worship him. Every day, Samuel helped Eli serve God in the temple. Okay, now this is my favorite part. One night, when Samuel was fast asleep, he heard a voice calling his name.
Samuel, Samuel.
Whoa, what a voice! If I heard that, I'd wake right up. Well, Samuel woke up and he threw off his blanket and ran to find Eli. "Here I am, you called me?" said Samuel. Eli sat up and said,
I did not call you. Go back to bed.
It wasn't Eli calling Samuel. Who was it? Let's see. So Samuel went back to sleep, just like Eli told him to. And again, Samuel heard a voice calling his name.
Samuel, Samuel.
So once again, he threw off his blanket and ran to Eli and said, "Here I am." At this point, Samuel was probably pretty confused, and Eli was probably very tired and just wanted to go back to sleep.
I did not call you. Go back to sleep,
said Eli again. So Samuel did as he was told. Well, what do you think happened then? He heard the voice a third time.
Samuel, Samuel.
So he ran to Eli a third time. This time, Eli knew what was happening. It was God calling Samuel. Because Samuel had never heard God speaking, he thought Eli was calling him. So Eli told Samuel,
The next time you hear God calling, say this, Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening.
So Samuel went back to bed and waited. Then he heard God calling a fourth time.
Samuel, Samuel.
So Samuel said, Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening. And then God told Samuel his plans for Eli and Israel. Wow, God spoke to Samuel. Samuel wasn't even a grown-up. He was a kid, just like you. But Samuel was prepared to listen to God and do whatever needed to be done. As he grew up, God used Samuel to bless the people of Israel, to serve them, and share God's truth with them. Friends, God is with us today and every day. He still speaks to his people. He may choose many different ways to speak to us. He might speak to us in the same way that he spoke to Samuel, or he may choose another way to speak to us. Will God talk to us on the phone? Hello, God? Is that you? No. But sometimes he speaks to us through his word, the Bible. He may use other people to speak to us as well. He might speak out loud, or we may hear him speak deep inside our hearts. However he chooses to speak, we can always answer by saying, "Speak, Lord, for I am listening." God was with Samuel, and he is with you and me too. Well, I'm getting pretty sleepy. Thank you for stopping by. I'll see you all again soon. Good night.